We are gathered here to pay tribute to the survivors and refugees who have told their life stories through the My Voice project. And we are also here to acknowledge the 50 volunteers who have enabled their stories to be recorded and published for posterity. The group who in 2021 were granted the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service by Her late Majesty in recognition of their outstanding work. We are delighted that you have been able to join us to honour these two inspiring groups of people. Yet how poignant it is that, as a result of having to postpone this event not once but twice due to the pandemic, today, as we finally come together to celebrate, our much beloved Queen is no longer with us. Her award brought us the deepest sense of honour. While that cannot be diminished, today is undoubtedly tinged with sadness, as we are all still only just beginning to come to terms with this most profound loss to our nation. But let me turn to the reason we are here. The My Voice project is unique. It is not the Holocaust testimony project as we often see. It does not only record survivors' experiences during the war, but rather it chronicles the storytellers' whole life stories, written in the first person, in their own words, bringing to life their childhood experiences, recalling communities decimated by Nazi atrocities, the horrors of the war years spent in death camps, and then the rebuilding of their lives in our region, and their enormous contribution to the Jewish community and in making Manchester the great city it is. As you will hear, for many of our storytellers, writing their My Voice book was the first time they managed to open up and fully tell their stories, sometimes even to their own families. And in doing so, many provided eyewitness testimony of the horrendous crimes committed by the Nazis. As Elie Wiesel said, to forget would be not only dangerous but offensive. To forget the dead would be akin to killing them a second time. These are stories of resilience and survival, of what it is possible to build from nothing, demonstrating how you can take everything away, but the human spirit will overcome. Our survivors made happy marriages, built loving families, had successful professional careers, built businesses, held civic office, ran and supported charitable causes, created employment. Their stories are lessons of hope and tolerance for people of all faiths and none, all ethnic groups, all nationalities. 8 weeks ago, a wonderful letter was sent to the project, addressed to one of its storytellers, my very dear friend, Ike Alterman. It was sent by a 14-year-old Ukrainian refugee, Sophia, who now lives in Manchester and is a pupil at the Wellington School in Timperley. She wrote telling him that she had been studying his book as part of her Year 10 history syllabus. This is what she said. "Your story touched me a lot because the war also crept into my life too, twice in my 14 years of life. Your story truly breaks my heart. Learning more about the Holocaust is fascinating and I believe very important. I am grateful to hear your story, which is hard to believe because I could not even think that people would commit such cruelty. It's just a miracle how you managed to save yourself, and I'm grateful for that, because now we can find out the whole truth, no matter how scary it is. I'm also grateful that you decided to tell everything exactly the way it was, and make all the necessary corrections to the false stories about the camps. May I ask if you hate Germans? How did you manage to keep hold of your sanity, considering everything was an absolute horror? I hope that you are living your happiest life at the moment, because I know that it is very difficult to forget everything and move on. Thank you for expanding your story. It is very important, even if it's difficult." If there was ever an endorsement of how vital My Voice is in furthering awareness of the Holocaust and the lessons to be learned from it by people of all generations, and especially younger ones, then this is it.